The 6100 is one of our mid-range systems. We've got two versions of this system. One comes with a dual-core AMD APU, and the other has a quad-core AMD APU. This system comes with a triple-head integrated graphics card. And with the help of AMD's Eyefinity, you can use spanning of the desktop to make use of the hardware acceleration over all the screens. Here again all the specifications. Again, I will not mention them all or run through them all. It's just a couple of highlights. Well, as mentioned before, it comes with an integrated dual-core or quad-core APU. And depending on the APU, it has an integrated AMD Radeon HD7000 series graphics card. So really powerful. The system can house one 2.5-inch hard drive or SSD. It's got a number of USB 2 and USB 3 ports. And again, this system also has a watchdog timer. Well, also the DE6100 has a number of connectors. This is the backside, of course. On the top row, we see the RS-232 port, or the COM port for RS-232. And next to that, the network port. Then on the bottom row from left to right, we see the power connector, which can take 19 volts DC, which again is supplied with a supplied adapter. But it can also take 12 volts DC. Then we've got two HDMI ports. We've got a display port. We've got two USB 3 ports, which can be recognized by the blue color. And then we have two USB 2 ports. And finally, two audio ports. That's actually microphone in and audio out. Here we also see a number of extra holes. There are only two holes for the antennas, and they're covered by rubber plugs. On the front of this system, we have two more USB 2 ports. And of course, the power button. A look inside the DE6100. Well, this is the main board. That's the CPU or APU socket. So this will house the dual core or the quad core APU. Then we've got the memory connectors, sockets. We've got one full-size mini card slot. We've got the SATA ports, the power pin header, and here there are a number of extra pin headers available as well. Also for, I think there's one for the speaker, for and internal USB ports. This system uses a bit more power than the DE3100, but it does have a more powerful APU and graphics card as well. These are the numbers for the heavy loading. Here again the ODD crossed out because it doesn't have an ODD slot or bay. At full power it only uses 77 watts. I do have a little bit of a comparison later on about 3D Mark. That will put it a bit more in perspective as well. Under normal loading, the power consumption drops to about 60 watts. So still very energy efficient. These are the 3D Mark figures. The figures you see here are just to give you an idea of the graphics performance of the DE6100 compared to the DE7000. Unfortunately, these 3D marks are not really sacred for the use in digital signage, but a benchmark nevertheless. So for comparison purposes, the DE7000 uses 73 watts in heavy loading versus the 77 watts of the quad core. And when you compare all these figures, we can really conclude that the systems are getting more and more energy efficient with each generation.